Also, MKOI have a lot of priority on Busio's champion ball, as we've already seen. Let's see if with that Nami ban, a Bard is sure to follow.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Nico as well, quite high priority coming into this one. But still, Finn said on the desk, like, you still have to kind of focus on what have been solid picks for either side. Elyoya's buy has been very strong, and also, I mean, Yike still has question marks around it. Yep. The Rumble, high priority. There are so many picks that are still incredibly strong that you just don't want to give across.
Well, I'm wondering what this ban is going to be. Looks like it's going to be the Mel.
So Mel has started to come up as an answer into Twisted Fate. And we've started to see Twisted Fate rise up a little bit more and more. And the idea being that when he throws that gold card, you use the immediate shield, send it back, and then you're able to actually turn around that player into Twisted Fate. So maybe that's what they're eyeing up, but we'll have to see if that's the case.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, like I personally haven't seen the Mel. I know that after the rework, I've had some question marks about how strong she actually is. But the Ahri response ban coming through from KC, that seems to be what they were worried about having to deal with. But Busio's Bard is open. Yes. We know that Alvaro plays it a bunch. The question is, will they prioritize it? It looks like that they're going to go for the Taliyah instead. So we're getting Jojo on a champion that, in my opinion, I think is one of his best champions. It's something that he's incredibly comfortable on. He loves to play super aggressive in the mid lane matchup as well. And it sets up really nicely for a lot of the traditional jungle picks that Elyoya likes to play.
And with this deep cooking that KC seem to be thinking about right now, I wonder if they're like, oh, we take Galio, further games, we get something like the Rumble. For now, adding range
Jhin Bard,
instead.
I think.
Yeah?
Jhin Bard is the direction that they seem to be going in anyway.
Because I was also going to say, like, Galio, most of the time, I kind of prefer him when he's got, you know, dive to enable him to be proactive with that ultimate. But with Vi taken away, Pantheon, Jarvan, Zinza, and Wukong gone, you know, the dive potential coming from your jungle isn't exactly at an all-time high. So I'm curious if they may end up flipping that script and not going for the Galio for kyeahoo.
Now, gentlemen, I just need to float this by you both, but last night in the LCS, we did get to see an Ornn jungle from Inspired. And now we both know that these junglers are happy to play a wide variety. Ooh, Syndra. I was expecting the Bard to come through, just grab that early. But kyeahoo, I believe this is his first Syndra of the split, from what I remember.
Yep.
It's also something that leaves you very wanting when it comes towards damage if you're able to go for some sort of tank. So suddenly things like the Ornn looking a lot more high priority. So I think this is where for Canna, you have to take some sort of carry. Like, there is a lot of upfront burst in both the Jhin and the Syndra. A lot of those enabling tools in the CC they can provide. But utility isn't enough to get you across the line. They need some of that more DPS focus.
Well, Spain seemed to like that one. The lock-in of the Kaisa from Supa. We've got a bit more. I know we talked about the lack of dive. I like that you're starting to cook a little bit with jungle matchups here, Vedi, as we go down the pool. I will also raise that we've had the Aatrox pop up throughout the split as we go on and draft. Another dive champ to add in the mix.
Busio, one of the few people who's brought out the Leona as well, which could work relatively well here if he wants to go into it too. The Nautilus. The Rell hover, though, seems like that might be the call he wants to go for.
I mean, KC have been hovering a bunch of different champions today in their draft, so I'm going to wait to see where they end up locking in, but it looks like that will be the answer. Your ability to remove that shield on the Nautilus W is always a valuable tool. Of course, you can use the hook to interrupt her ability to engage, which is always something to bear in mind. But Jhin Rell into Kaisa Nautilus, I mean, we wanted to see engaged supports, and we're definitely going to get it from both Alvaro and Busio here in this Game 3.
Do you think the Yike Jayce is too much for a core? Have we got too much poke? Do we need more frontline now? How are you guys feeling with damage? All questions I'm asking as Lee Sin is the first to go.
I think that picking tanks into Syndra and Kaisa, Syndra and Jhin is a good choice.
From MKOI side,
because 4 bullets, not very good at killing tanks.
Yes.
And Syndra's burst, once her burst is gone, that's kind of a lot of her damage gone. I wouldn't say it's all of her damage gone. She can still do a lot in fights, especially like Faker's very famous for throwing out the ult first and then using it as an AoE stun, for example. So it's not that Syndra will fall off immediately, but yeah, I think tanks are super effective into this matchup. And the fact that they banned away Trundle immediately leans towards. Seems like KOI agree with us in the direction of junglers for sure.
The Poppy ban as well, I was kind of curious, because I think there is a world where Yike maybe could have taken that to try and prevent something like an Ornn from being the pickup here for MKOI. You know, you get some value from the W on Ornn engages and setup. But now I'm just curious what the plan is, because I think there's also where Yike can fall back in towards things like the MKOI and try and provide more of that tank jungler role to enable Canna to be the top laner that he needs to as in a carry performance.
Merctreds get a lot of value if they decide to go for the MKOI. I mean, Sejuani I don't love. I'm thinking about other jungle options.
Not Ivan, like that's silly.
We did see Neferi from Yike. Could be a possibility. I don't love it here.
Jayce,
okay, so
we just talked extensively about that Jayce option, and it looks like that's going to be the direction that they go. For KOI, I'm expecting tanks. On top lane, we've seen from Myrwn a bunch. Usually it's his answer into the Rumble, but I'm expecting Rumble to be permabanned throughout this series.
Yeah, I think you take the Ornn and you just go, look, this is all poke on KC. We just need to find engage. We need to find setup. You've already got a flash Nautilus engage, trying to set for more, and okay, Elyoya.
They love that.
I mean, we've seen this Qiyana come through from Elyoya before. I think, if I remember correctly, kind of mixed success. He's had some very good Qiyana games.
Some high highs.
And I definitely know that he's good at the Qiyana, but on the competitive stage, I don't think it's always worked out for Elyoya. Ultimately, though, like, it's a great skirmisher into the Jayce. Your ability in wombo combo is definitely very lethal.
Guys.
But now the thing about the Jayce is it is a flex pick. You've got to remember that. And I think that Myrwn is trying to play around that by picking the Renekton in the top lane. A topside bruiser that can go into many matchups relatively safe. But what will KC end up throwing into it?
I'm a little worried that MKOI have over-indexed into trying to play for matchups, though. Because the Renekton, if you end up going with this long-range poke composition, has a miserable time. I'd actually like the Sejuani now, because you're not, like, this Qiyana is going to struggle to get into positions if you can hold vision. You've got really good engage between both the Sejuani and the Rell. Especially Sejuani's being non-committal, just allows you to continue with this long-range DPS. And MKOI need to get ahead early, it feels like, or they will just be at the mercy of this poke composition.
I just love that MKOI have thrown in the mallet and been like, we're all in, baby. You know, we talked about, like, what's the dive we can build with this? And they show us a complete out-of-the-water, fearless composition that can only be described in words of amazement, especially since Elyoya in his career, 11-2 on this Qiyana. 86% win rate, 85 rather.
So I was very wrong. I was
to be fair though, like, when we looked back last year, he had like one game where he got off to like a 4-kill start that he couldn't actually capitalize on.
That's the one
and
I
then
was
they lost.
yes.
And then he had another game later on where he actually did end up winning and having a spectacular performance. But I do think with KC, like, trying to play Renekton into Syndra is not a fun time. Into Sejuani, not a fun time. And you've still got a ton of long range. It is really going to be on Jojopyun to have a great game. Find the tools that he needs to access side lanes and make the plays happen.
I think you make valid points. My counter argument basically is I think that this is a perfect juxtaposition of styles. When I think of KC, they demonstrate to me consistency. Every time I watch them play, I feel like I get the same thing out of their players. But KOI, to me, have always had that star potential in every single member of their roster. Any player can, at any point, make that game-changing play. And I think they've given themselves a draft that enable that playmaking potential. They have a lot of agency to flip the game, effectively. Whether it be Supa's finding Kaisa's angle to dive onto the backline, whether it be Elyoya finding that clutch ult or finding a big pick. While I think that KC's composition holistically makes sense with its poke, with its range, with its front-to-back style, I think KOI has so much agency for these KOI players to play how they like to play and make things happen using their own ability and skill.
I mean, I do also love as our chat messages coming in. I just love that the Hail Mary there that you're talking about, Vedius, is thrown by all members. And again, that star potential has to step up big. Dagda, you talk about Jojo's input and what he has to bring in this game. So far, the lane has started off nicely. And of course, in a game like this that is so volatile through lanes, we have to look at junglers, their pathing. It leads us to the bottom lane where double engage is there, solid engage out of Alvaro and both Busio. Jojo, of course, is level 2 first. Who takes all the damage. This threaded volley at its max. Also connects. Scout of the week, though. Who has a bit of range himself.
You're seeing exactly why, though. Jojo on Taliyah is just one of his best picks. Already, he's building up a CS lead in the 1v1. and he knows exactly how to trade on the champion. He takes full advantage of the low cooldown Q. He bullies out his lane opponent. He's happy to trade HP because he knows he's going to go for the early back. All of the pots are already burnt, and it's about asserting that early control into that first base for a nice 400 gold spend.
Well, Busio getting the worst side of the trade, but Yike going for traditional
coming in, Scatter the Week's perfect as well. Yike's going to Arctic Assault in, waiting for the Winter's Flail, and it lands. Permafrost auto. Well done, KC.
Great gank from Yike. All he wanted to do was move to his bot side jungle. He goes, well, I'll walk through mid and see what happens. Not only does he get Jojo's flash, but he gets his life as well.
I mean, Jojo wasn't expecting that early gank. Like, it doesn't happen very often in the meta. It was a top side clear into mid lane gank. Alvaro connects a hook.
Barrier comes in as well. Supa's looking for that second skin passive just to layer on down. He sends out that W, but it is going to be blocked by Busio while Casey's bottom lane walks away scathed.
Alvaro and Supa playing this bot lane matchup well, though. The initial trade on level 1 going in their favor, and then they're able to double down as they get towards those progressive levels. Honestly, the fact that you're forcing some of these early summoner spells is a big win in the matchup.
Some big trading going on here through the mid lane. And all the while, you know, I'm just looking up and I'm seeing like, where are we at here for kyeahoo Syndra? He's only ever played 2 games from what I'm seeing here in his all-time career record. So that's one thing. Another note, we haven't even talked about Canna's Jayce yet, which is super important to know he's his best champion.
Yeah, it's incredibly strong, and I think that's where Canna does shine. We're able to put those resources onto him so he can have isolated lanes, carry the matchup, and just play through his own lane prowess. Myrwn, though, not a pushover on the Renekton, has been doing a relatively good job at the moment of keeping himself in check. The wave is pushing in, so we'll be slightly behind. But Yike in mid again.
Oh, Jojo's confident in his junglers here. He thinks he can walk up Arctic Assault, but he's got no flash again. Permafrost lays him down, scatters the weak, and Jojo is that weak man.
If we can get a replay showing what Yike sees, or what Elyoya sees specifically, because I saw Yike's ping onto Elyoya. So I assumed that because Yike saw Elyoya, Elyoya can see Yike. But it seems that Jojo had absolutely no information. The fact that he walked into that brush just to get a ward down, to get some info down as to where the enemy jungler was. Yike finds another successful gank mid, and kyeahoo off to the races here in game 3.
Again.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to see it now here. So yeah, I mean, Yike
he
just squeezes past.
Wow, oh my goodness, well played there by Yike. So just taking full advantage of that pocket of vision to catch Jojo. He feels safe because his jungler's in the river too.
It's that small path up to finish the scuttle, and the vision just cuts out because he didn't Arctic Assault over the wall, he walked it.
And the thing that you said earlier, Vedi, is still true. Like, there is incredible Merc Threads value in this mid lane, but it's so delayed now for Jojo. You had to stop off for the tier already, which was going to delay it enough regardless. But even then now, Jojo, further behind, has only now gone back for the No Magic Mantle. This man is going to be bullied. Well, I was going to say a lot. It's Caliste. Nearly gets caught.
Shield going to be shattered though. Busio gets a good engage, but there's backup here. Elyoya on the way, even on a wall. But Yike again, always here when he needs to be. 3 vs 3 in the bottom lane, interrupted by a weird pig. Setting up for Busio, double shattering strike. Treads on, though, hits it on a minion, and Yike has taken no damage. Permafrost again, flush away from Alvaro, but the Winter's Flail. It turns into a flash, almost a double. Yike on the board. Now that the damage is erupted and Supa's in lethal tempo, MKOI try to fight it back, but KC walk away without a death in their pocket.
Supa played very far up and actually got a good amount of damage onto Caliste and Busio, which I think prevented that from going significantly worse than it did. Still though, Yike on this Sejuani is everywhere so far.
I mean, Yike came into the league as a carry player, but then playing on G2 for 2 years, he became a Sejuani Maokai player.
Yep.
And like, that's what I remember him so much for when he was on that G2 roster.
The Yankos effect.
Yeah, the Yankos effect indeed. And now seeing him back on the Sejuani and him just running the rift. 2 ganks in the mid lane, covering for the gank in bot lane. He is reading Elyoya like a book.
And Yike has just been on a cliff since that second game. Even in the first game, there was an individual lead brewing. But that last game was clinical on the Wukong. Here on the Sejuani, the reason that kyeahoo has a lead is because of those well-timed ganks. He then counter-ganks bot, and Elyoya can't do a damn thing in that 3v3 matchup. We look towards top. Myrwn, did he just press W on a minute?
He's going all in.
I don't know about that. Dominance going to be used. Bopped on back. Canna going to space it. Acceleration gate there, waiting for the shock blast. Combo hits, but Myrwn able to survive and tank it out.
Yeah, Myrwn hoping to go for the aggressive trade because you can see that, look where Elyoya is, but
Oh,
once
no
again,
slice
Yike
and dice,
has beat him to the punch.
No
Yike
slice.
is here.
No
Here
slice and
comes
dice.
Jojo.
Yike's going to walk on up level 6. He's got himself a nice glacial prison. Myrwn is getting knowing Helvin, going into permafrost again. Yike used the ulti in reverse onto Jojo. Now KC have to get on out. Yike's going to go down while Canna walks it out, flushes away from the ulti. Supreme player talent doesn't mean anything, but Elyoya comes back, gets a shutdown on another well-timed game.
KOI finally get on the board. They commit 4 members to the top side of the rift, and they're looking for a play onto Canna.
Javischal has himself a nice little buff up here with the Earth Elemental. MKOI have 3 members. Canna against the wall. Turns into Hammer. He's trying to kite it out, but there's too much damage. Elyoya sets it up, but under turret it's a trade. Canna holds strong and takes one down too.
Canna gets one back. Jojo couldn't continue tanking it up. But KC, they can't really make the play on the bottom side of the map that they were hoping for. We're eyeing up a dive, but they take the dragon instead.
I love that KOI is not backing down, though. They're willing to scrap, they're willing to fight, because they know they need to fight their way back into this game. KOI have just short of a 1k gold lead. They're going to get the first dragon of the game. But KOI, they're not going to give it up that easily.
No, they're not. Jojo from over the wall. He has his flash available. No wall to lay down the path. Myrwn's here to help out, but Dragon's already gone. Scatter the weak. Oh, the flash. Interrupt the deadly flourish as well. Seismic shot doesn't connect. Oh, you hate to see it, but Jojo thought he could pull the angle.
KC wanted none of it, and that's exactly what we were talking about in the draft. The ability to close the gap is difficult into things like the Syndra when she can just push you back. Flash invested, nothing gained, and KC will get terror plates on top side.
The downside for KOI is exactly that, Dagda. You've left Canna isolated in the top lane. You've allowed him to push in that top wave, get 2 plates for himself, and remember that because he traded 1-for-1, sure, the goal difference between the junglers now equalized, but the goal difference between the top laners has only gotten bigger.
And also, while that play was happening topside, Busio got some great vision in that bottom side jungle. You can see the pings onto where Elyoya is, because there's a ward on Raptors. There's a ward that's spotted on Krugs as well. They have full information on where Elyoya is going to be on the map, which is going to enable Yike even more to keep pace and make sure that his lanes don't feel the brunt of this Elyoya power.
Well, now Elyoya setting his sights on these grubs. Is he going to start them off, or is his priority? It looks like it's just the Scuttle Crab for now. Yike is in the vicinity, though.
Busio roaming as well. So a lot of members of KC on this top side of the map.
Canna sees that as well. He's playing super safe. He doesn't want to fall to a trap.
Set up for the grubs. Let's keep eye on Myrwn, how he holds this wave for now. Needs to neutralize here as both junglers are in top.
But if Busio is spot on bot, Caliste is very dead. No level 6 for Alvaro.
Side. Oh, perfect Alvaro. Nicely done. On a trap, you'd say that's good, but it is Caliste after all. Supa can't get much damage down. An early game Kaisa, and that's all it is.
Now, though, you have to kind of back away as Caliste, because Alvaro, I think, hits level 6 off this wave, which makes it way more vulnerable. Still, Yike looks like he's going to be able to get these grubs, though. And Busio very quickly started to retreat to this bottom side. You can see that he's getting zoned off.
Busio is here, though. He should feel...
Good call.
He's going to use it to, yeah, he's going to use it to get the minions, and he's going to go back to base. Supa will get this extra wave. But overall, bot side of the map, pretty even. That jungle gap has closed, largely because Elyoya's been doing a good job of getting those Scuttle Crabs. Keeping up in terms of camps and getting that kill onto Canna really helped him a lot. Really, it's the solo lanes where you're seeing the biggest advantage for KC starting to grow. kyeahoo with a 500 gold lead, Canna with an 800 gold leads. These solo laners are going to be very important as the game continues, but let's remember that KOI are not out of this game just yet. The early game hasn't really been theirs so far this series, but it's the team fights where we've seen this team shine.
And especially, you know, when we get to 1-2 items, we're talking about the aggression of this comp. Anyone can carry. There's so much star power, not just in the players, but the champions as well. Elyoya now with an Umbral Glaive that controls vision, but also gets a burst of lethality and damage here. So this next dragon fight we're alluding to could be a big one for MKOI.
It's those stars combining that I think are going to maybe help MKOI here, especially Jojopyun's wall and Elyoya's ultimate. The opportunity to try and spread out fights and immediately have impact is massive. Because if you can get behind any of these carries, if they're flashless, they're dead.
I want to note Myrwn still only with a Tabi and a Ruby Crystal. Must be sitting on a bit of gold up in this top lane because that Renekton doesn't have anything to his name right now either. MKOI spotted out going for this top side, but again, Umbral's going to help clear the vision for Elyoya. He's just making sure Jojo's safe to push out this wave.
Yeah, I think the second he steps away, there's going to be a lot of pressure on towards his tower. But again, Elyoya moving up towards the top side. The ward just died, so I don't know if it did spot Elyoya, but he's still going to make his way top. Jojo in the vicinity as well.
Camps to take as well. Yike's nowhere nearby. This is a free red buff, possibly into Krugs, possibly into top dive. So a bit of gold really nicely done here from Elyoya, but direct line connecting is trouble. MKOI have found a play in the 2v2. Magnustorm comes out late, but a killer instinct. Supa takes down one for the crowd. Now Busio's left isolated alone, and Yike will come to save the day, but he flashes away. Supa's going to match it. A double over. Now into Yike. He's going to stand here and start hitting the man-bear pig. And running away, Sejuani has help with kyeahoo, and kyeahoo coming in. He's got his ulti available, unleashing power, and Supa's down. Alvaro flashes out. He knows the play is kaput while we look towards top lane, and Canna is down. MKOI still fighting big across the map.
Canna was in a heap of trouble the second Yike showed in that bot lane play. Jojo roamed, Elyoya roamed, and MKOI get a play back on the top side, but the bottom lane is the interesting one.
This is the star power that we were talking about earlier. A single hook from Alvaro created this cascading domino effect where they got 2 kills on the bot side, they got a kill on the top side, they only traded it for Supa, but it is a huge gold swing, and it all starts with Alvaro landing this hook.
And Caliste greeting for that extra shot on the tower. There is so much damage and setup. The cleanse from Supa is perfect with the killer instinct to set things right. And Busio knows he's going down. It's just Yike seeing how much he can help out. But now we're back to live, and KC setting up for the Dragon. And Myrwn's
the one choosing this fight, so Renekton pulls in Busio. He's caught out, he can't move, and he crashes down, but over the wall the damage is enough. Kyeahoo wasn't there to start controlling the zone, as MKOI have the Dragon to themselves.
MKOI aren't wasting any time. The moment they're back out onto the map, they're looking to be fast, they're looking to be hostile. Canna has found Jojo.
Let's see, Hammerfall is going to come out. He puts down the Unraveled Earth, threat of volley, and now as the poke comes through, the flash away from Jojo's down, yes, but Canna has to get out of dodge. Minion Wave going to help him save the day.
Canna tried to delay the to the sky so he wouldn't end up CCing himself, but it does mean that Jojo is able to walk away with that flash.
Big
but
trade.
It's MKOI. Again, once you keep this pressure up, if you can quickly find the fights, that's where MKOI succeed, and you've got to see it there.
This comp is just so good at skirmishing. Qiyana in a 2 versus 2. You have Taliyah in a 2 versus 1. Like, they have so many ways to find these little outplays. And they're doing it. They're keeping the place of the game up. Yike ran the early game, but as we get closer to the mid game, it's Elyoya that's taking over. He's been farming up a storm in the jungle, stealing away camps when he can, and look at how strong this Qiyana is becoming.
And I feel like as well to pair up, if Alvaro is hitting these hooks like he's been doing, that support jungle that we highlighted many splits ago and have for many splits since their inception will step up to the plate in game 3 again.
But honestly, it's just Caliste being in bad positions. Like, he should not have stepped up again for that auto attack. But now Yike.
Oh, okay, Jojo only gets slowed on down. Permafrost's going to come through, though. They need the damage. Canna jumps in, but supreme display of interruption. Canna in trouble. Damage not enough. Elyoya, that was just sexy.
In the 2 versus 2, these champions simply thrive. Perfect timing from Elyoya. Perfect play from the mid-jungle combo. KOI continue to grow the gold lead, and this game is quickly getting out of control.
What started as praise for KC has quickly become a mausoleum for them. An incredible performance from MKOI on turning around these plays and just not giving KC time to think.
Jojo's going to get the plating from bot. His gold lead, or rather lack of, is going to be catching up to kyeahoo, who's picked up 3 kills in this early game. MKOI on the board in a big way, 3,500 gold. First turret of the game is going to Jojo alone. And revitalized, to say the least, it feels like MKOI has become.
And MKOI would just get to continue this pressure. Rift Herald on the cards. Trying to set up as KC around these objectives can be so scary when you're not able to push out and get any of that deep vision. And we talked about MKOI, you know, if they fall behind, it's hard for them to try and get into positions. But with KC now starting to slip under their thumb, MKOI can just fish for picks, they can play off of vision, and especially with a Rift Herald, they can take down structures.
Not letting their foot off the pace, it seems. That's what they've been really good at doing ever since they pulled off those couple of kills cross-map. Straight into Herald, push through mid. Myrwn using that same pressure top. Canna's going to be isolated in bot to get something in in his own lane, but now MKOI have the tools to break open mid and keep this game moving.
Yike, trying to hide, trying to get something back. Can he make it work with kyeahoo? Because look at mid, like they're going to just immediately take mid lane.
Well, Myrwn has dominance available. He can delay time. He's got flash as well. Yike's been here for a while now, and mid is still just exposed. They're going to make the play. Myrwn goes into the dominance. He's looking to slice and dice, but he won't get out. So still a good play. kyeahoo gets the gold, but KC now want to bridge open to an open turret.
KC needs to be finding picks like this, but KOI, they aren't wasting any time on the map as they have been doing for the last 5 minutes, dropping the Herald mid to open up that tower, continuing to extend the gold lead even further, side waves being pushed out. This will be something back in the pockets of KC. For this Dragon, a minute and a half, this is going to be a pivotal moment for both sides. As we get closer to these 5v5s is what we'll have to see if KC can keep this game even or whether KOI will cement their authority here in Game 3.
As KC, it has to be slow. It has to be poke. It has to be denying MKOI the engage. If you can keep the pace up, if you can stop KC from taking a breather, that's where MKOI can thrive. And that's why Elyoya is hiding in the wings. He's looking for
He can terror shape over the wall. He'll have the audacity for the supreme display of talent. It doesn't do too much though. KC's still getting out, but Yike is caught on the wing. He flashes into Supa, but Supa's already out. Straight line, flick black, and that's perfect. That's all MKOI needs. A good scatter of the week, yes. But kyeahoo's unleashed power is down. KC are in the ground again. If only Busio, MKOI make the play work.
Elyoya and Jojo, I think we're trying to go for a combo with Elyoya's ult and Jojo's. Go Myrwn on towards Canna.
In melee range though, it's okay. Myrwn can use the slice and dice through the body. He's got everything up and available with stride break, and Jojo's going to get yet another turret. Those 4 kills are mitigated because Jojo keeps getting solo gold.
I mean, KOI, they're just snowballing this game out of control. And I really love the way that they're doing it. Because again, when we talked about the matchup coming into this series, it really felt like consistency.
Oh, he's on a ward.
On a ward, the flick back. Jojo's trying to feint it. He gets the seismic shot back, and there's Elyoya waiting, delivered. Oh, it's dinner time for MKOI again.
And the Dragon spawns as well. The pings come down from KOI. They're going to quickly run towards the objective. Alvaro in tow as well. KOI have relied on their outplay potential. This draft is all about giving their players agency, giving them the tools to make stuff happen. And boy, oh boy, have they made stuff happen here in Game 3.
And it's doing it from that deficit. Yike had a good start, but it's not saying, all right, you know what, we don't have these tools anymore. We can't find that success. Instead, MKOI have said, nah, screw that. We're going to take fights. We're going to find every little opportunity we can. And Canna might be the next one. Steps up, steps back. But MKOI step away with a blue buff.
And it's not just, again, the highlighting of Yike's early game is the fact that, like, Caliste and Busio were in a fine position. You're still getting out-traded, but they were holding the lane. kyeahoo gets the kills. Canna's doing fine. But the map fell apart in different pieces thanks to MKOI's tenacity. We talk about this individual skill level, and now with 2 items, the fights are coming even easier to them. 5 seconds till Baron. Next Dragon's a while away, but MKOI have already started to stack.
I mean, it's also just so fun to see Elyoya on these carry junglers. Like, I know that he is a long-time Qiyana enjoyer. It's been one of his favorites. I initially... Oh, Yike.
Stretch line again. Alvaro gets the edge of the wall, and look, Elyoya is there. Another supreme display. Yike caught out of position. Now Myrwn is isolated, rather Jojo, excuse me, with his side big shove, and kyeahoo can't get the kill. Stretch line only just missing his Canna comes in, but it's too late. Busio sets it up, and the rest of KC aren't there. They want out.
What is Yike doing? Attempting to invade the enemy jungle in a game state like this? It results in KOI easily punishing the overposition. Busio falls as a result of well. And now 20 minutes in, KOI will take the Baron, and they're looking to go match point in this best of 5.
Alvaro was a superhero in this play as well, because not only does he get the initial hook on towards Yike, it's the follow-up to deny the kill onto Jojopyun that was so crucial there for MKOI as well. KC, I mean, they're just hoping and praying here.
Yeah.
They're just fishing for anything.
Myrwn's taking the safe path. They won't find him. We look at the replay again. As you said, Yike is deep here.
Well, it's a Hex Flash over from Alvaro to set it up, which works out great, because they immediately pick off Yike. But as Jojopyun comes in, watch Alvaro, ignoring the fight, immediately gets the ult onto Caliste, which denies him being able to follow up with kyeahoo, who has to step away. So Jojopyun's able to step back, and it's MKOI who can then collect themselves and carry through on the fight.
6.5k, the gold lead now. KOI in such a commanding position, and it feels like that game 1, I guess, was the close game.
Yeah.
Because game 2 was a stomp for KC. Game 3 now feels like a stomp for MKOI. They are dominating.
Oh.
Elyoya.
Face checks, but look, he just steps it back. Myrwn's there to support as well. But this does feel like, you're right, I mean, ever since those 2 kills cross-map, this has felt much like what Casey did last game. Obviously not as dominant, but still dominant in its own way, with a much harder composition, you'd have to argue. Scatter the week there, deadly flash, okay, unleashing power. Blocking it is Alvaro, though. Elyoya last shot, going into who? Going into who for the curtain call? Into Alvaro. Elyoya gets away. No harm, no foul here as Drags on again. Busio then flick back, and Busio tries to come in, set up the engagement. Alvaro just won't die. He just won't die. Again, closer pressing comes out, but MKOI will not die. Now Busio's by himself as Myrwn comes on in. Yike as well. Busio sets up at the play, but supreme display. Zones everyone in Supa. Killer instinct into the back. Yike almost dies in the end. And MKOI are just fridges, man. He can't even open the damn door.
It just took KC 2 minutes to kill anyone in that fight. And now Elyoya versus Yike.
He's still here, and he just won the smite. It's gone from bad to worse for KC's. MKOI are obliterating.
It feels like KC just don't have any damage. So very low HP. The body block comes through from Alvaro to protect from the ultimate from the Jhin. Then on the retreat, you can see, hey, maybe we can turn this into a fight. But the unraveled earth from Jojo makes it so hard for both Busio and Yike to follow up.
And that's why I was surprised to see kyeahoo go for the Blackfire Torch build. I often you see the Luden's Echo go for the burst, just try and one-shot someone immediately. But kyeahoo just, even at 4-0, doesn't have that damage. And Busio has to keep throwing his life into the mix in the hopes that he can just CC people long enough to enable KC.
The good news if you're a KC fan is trading even when you're this far behind is always a good thing for you. You do get a Baron off of KOI and you stall a bit more. But
another one, Canna, he's dead. No, he flushes away. Elyoya doesn't have the ult anyway, otherwise it would have been a short thing as MKOI transition that power to top.
Look how, like, bruiser focused essentially kyeahoo's build is, right? Like, he's gone for a bit of the health off that Cosmic Drive. The Blackfire Torch is more about that, like, burn on health. Like, he doesn't have that burst, and I think that's really why KC do struggle when they find these picks. They just finish someone off, maybe push MKOI back. Because he just, I mean, he's played too defensive with the lead.
Well, kyeahoo has it all. But KC have none of it. 8,000. The lead now for MKOI in their home arena. The fans are thriving now. They're really feeling it. Moments away from moving to match point. MKOI, it's Myrwn, caught on out. There's 3 members of KC here, but again, we talked about it. The damage just isn't there, and that's a 1.5 item Renekton, who is level 15, sure, but where's the damage at?
I can tell you where the damage at. It's on Elyoya. That's where it is.
Okay.
It's fishing for a pick.
Depth charge, Weaver's wall, over the wall. As Jojo, no, he was caught midway between it. Seismic shove was there. But in the end, Scout of the Week kind of stopped the play. MKOI using a couple of tools to try and find Yike.
At least they can push MKOI back. And kyeahoo does have decent wave clear now with Baron taken away. Does give some time to Canna to try and push in on this top side. The last little bit of a lead that KC have in any of these lanes, but 2.5 item Jayce, is that really going to win you the game here?
Well, we talked about time. How much more time? How much longer do KC need to chill? I don't know.
But I do love to see this from MKOI, because this is what we were talking about coming into the draft. The ability for MKOI to go back to what was MKOI last year. You see Jojopyun on the Taliyah, try and play through these 1-3-1, have Elyoya onto something that he can enable that. This was MKOI last year. And it feels like they're just fitting into a nice dressing gown, bringing back what made them so potent last year.
Yeah, slippers.
I just like that we're seeing a draft which is basically saying, you know what, I'm Melzet and I believe my players can outplay my opponents.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to give you a draft that lets you do just that. And I think that they've done just that. The bot lane 2 versus 2, the skirmishes that they found with Elyoya, and the fact that in the early game, Yike was reading Elyoya like a book. But then the way that he came back into the game, the fact that he focused on stealing camps, trying to maintain the level with Yike, even though he was behind in gold, all he needed to find was a couple kills. And then once he got them, it felt like KC just could not fight back. And now, The damage is so much in KOI's favor. Elyoya continues to steal camps away. He is 3 levels up on Yike. He is 80 CS ahead of his jungle opponent, and he is making it impossible for Yike to get any farm at all.
Elyoya has been pivotal, and this Qiyana pick has snowballed out of control. And we are now just waiting for the next Baron to come up. 15 seconds. That Dragon Soul is there for 3 minutes for leverage as well. When Alvaro hook, it's landed. I know what you're saying. He lands the hooks, and when it does land, it's kind of over. This engaged support has been unreal. 9 out of 13 KP, but you just look at the hooks rather that have landed, and I think they've been exceptional to say the least. Baron is now up. MKOI shrinking down the KC vision that they're only just struggling to get up in this topside jungle.
Elyoya is still fishing, and as long as MKOI can play in the darkness, this is a nightmare for KC. This comp does not want to face check, and oh, Busio felt the wind off that one.
Well, MKOI are just waiting. I mean, all they have to do is wait for KC to make a simple misstep. Elyoya is going to clear out that top ward, and that feels like the safety ward. There's none towards Baron, as you can see on your minimap in the bottom right. No wards whatsoever. Yike has to face check. He arced his salts. I think I'll use it with a bit of tempo. Good scout of the week, but KC even grouped up as all 3 or 4. There's no way they're stepping near that brush. That's how the game will end. Baron, MKOI are going to begin in that same darkness, and now how KC get towards it is anyone's guess.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting anywhere near this objective. Myrwn making sure that they can't get close. The vision's out. I mean, just fantastic Baron. Textbook play, completely suffocate their vision, keep control over the waves, and the moment that KC are given a moment to breathe, they realize, oh, the Baron's already gone. Excellently done. KOI looking poised and primed to bring us to game 4 with them leading at match point.
Rush down, slice of dice away from. Nicely done from Myrwn when chased up by Yike regardless. He goes into dominance. The rest of MKOI are on the way, but so are KC. This is where they want to stand. Shock blast combo. Myrwn, though, still not dead. He gets ulted eventually. Finally, a kill goes over, but KC are against the wall. 5 for Elyoya. He's going to pick up everyone. And when you talk about talent supremely displayed, you will from now on say the name Elyoya.
Beautiful fight from MKOI as Elyoya connects his ulti onto all 5 members. A fantastic performance from KOI, a fantastic display from Elyoya as KOI look to lead the series going 2-1.
What a way to end it. Elyoya showing why his Qiyana should be feared. Busio will fall, but this stadium stands with MKOI.
After all, it is their flippin' house.